Hey team, Chaplain Brantley, and I am delighted to bring to you this week's weekly reflection. The first time that I came to you, I talked about what is your focus, and that was simply looking at the tree in my backyard. Are you focused on the things that are blossoming in your life, or are you looking at those branches that don't have anything on them? Last week, I came and talked about what are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your mind? And that was simply looking at the umbilical cord as is attached to the baby in the womb. And anything that the mother eats, the nutrients from what she eats goes through that cord to the baby. But it seems that we've been disconnected to the world from the umbilical cord of life. And the question that I ask is, what are we feeding our mind in the interim until we are able to go back out into the world and do what we have been accustomed to doing? So today, again, I want to look at the inside, but not so much at the mind per se, although it will have some bearing on it. At my last assignment, I had the fortunate privilege of collaborating with some great individuals to plan and organize and open a food pantry to help those that are in need. And to this day, individuals are still benefiting from that project. But for those of us that have at any point in time, and I know I'm talking to an audience that has, but go with me to the commissary, and I'm sure all of us have gone down that aisle where the canned soup is, or beans, or tuna, anything that you can find in a can, fruit. We have all purchased cans at some point in time. And in doing so, we take those cans home and they sit in our pantry. Some of us are active in using those cans. Others of us, they just sit there until we have a desire for them. And what we also do is we donate those cans that we haven't used to food pantries and other organizations that have need of food. And oftentimes in doing so, those cans have become dented if we didn't buy them dented, or those cans are expired. What's inside is deemed to be no more good to eat. And oftentimes we find ourselves just taking what's in our pantry, not looking at the expiration date, not looking at the fact that the can is dented, and we give it to somebody and think we've done a good service, a good deed for the day. Well, I want to look at that can a little bit more closely, because what may seem to be expired, and not speaking about the contents of the can, but the contents of your life, what people may have deemed said to be expired, or what circumstances of life may have dented you externally. I want you to know today that what you have on the inside is still of use. Although the can may be damaged on the outside, what's on the inside has a tendency and will take shape of that can. But I want you to know that even though your life may be taking shape of all the things that are happening externally, that what you have on the inside, what God put inside of you, is still good, and there's no expiration date on it. The question is, what kind of can opener are you using to open up and release that which is inside of you? I'm going to be honest with you. Since I've been home the last month and a half, or going on half, I've gone back and done some things that I have not done in a long time. And I'm speaking specifically to being in the kitchen, cooking breakfast, cooking lunch, cooking dinner, and even baking a cake. You understand? I have not done that since I left my parents' home at the age of 19, because cooking growing up was like a chore. It was like taking out the trash. And I said to myself, like most people say when they're being drugged to church on Sunday, when I get old enough, I'm not going to do it anymore. But although there have been some instances in life from the time I left home to where I am now, I've had instances where I had to cook to eat. I just wasn't a regular. Before I joined the military, there wasn't a house I couldn't go to, sit down at the table and have me a meal. But now I'm pulling out things that are inside of me that I can do, that have laid dormant. And I want you to take a look at what's inside your can. Are you using that old can opener? The little small one that wasn't really good to get a can open? Or have you upgraded to a decent can opener or to an electric can opener to just zoom and just take out everything that God has put inside of you? So while we're waiting to join back in fellowship with one another, get that can open. Take out those things that are inside of you that God has purposed for your life, and be the best at what you can be. While you're working from home, while your kids are home from school, from the physical building, I know they're still getting their education, but I want all of you to tap into that thing that is within inside of you. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough or what you have inside of you is not worthy. God says it's worthy, and so it is. So I encourage you this week, get that can opener, open the can, and get in touch with what's inside, because there is some use. There's no expiration on it. You're still in good shape. God bless you. God keep you until we are able to meet again, and I'll see you next week. Peace.